Welcome back to It's Me Unlocked. It's your girl, Jasmine.
And I'm the man with the buttery voice, the number one choice to keep all the ladies moist, DJ Just Effects. And today we have Sofia Rose with us. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're so glad to have you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from LA because I'm born and raised in Southern California. And I currently live in Orange County and I have a place in Las Vegas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
what's your background?
I'm Latina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was just like, I wasn't sure. I was like, she's got this sexy, exotic look. I was like,
yeah.
Where's she from?
So, my dad is Mexican. My mom is Spanish and Irish. And I was born here. My parents were born here, too.
Oh, nice. Okay. Do you ever go back there or?
No, except for vacation. No, I'm fifth generation. So it's kind of like, my mom doesn't speak Spanish. My dad did.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah, no, I love Spain. Definitely. I've been down there a couple of times. It's a beautiful city. I don't speak Spanish either, so I don't get to fully enjoy
I tell everyone I'm Whitexican.
Yeah, at first I was just like, we were like, she could be Spanish, she could be Middle Eastern. You just have that.
I'm ethnically ambiguous.
Yes, very much.
Everyone thinks I'm mixed. It's like,
yeah, there could be that too.
Whatever narrative you'd like, sure. Okay. I had one guy insist I was Egyptian. I was in New York. I'm like,
oh, I can see that too.
I'm not Egyptian, but okay. Sometimes I'm Jewish, I'm Israeli, I don't know.
So for work, do you play that? Do you just go like...
I let people just assume what they want.
Yeah.
But I only correct people if they ask because it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not white.
Yeah.
So, you know that.
So how did you get in the industry?
It was an accident, actually. I was approached by a photographer who had shot Jenna Jameson back in the day and had asked me to just do some, like, topless stills, and I had never done anything like that before and was really nervous. I did the photos, and I sent them into a couple of magazines, and this was when magazines are still in print. I'm dating myself. And everybody got back to me within 48 hours, and 6 years later, they had been pushing me to do porn forever, and I was just too scared to do it. I was like, I can't have sex with a random stranger. Like, how do you do this? And then I tried it in 2012, and it just, it was a roller coaster I didn't expect to be on, and here I am, still on it.
So was it like exhilarating? Because you said at first you were like, how am I going to do this with a stranger?
It just wasn't as big of a deal as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, what's wrong with me? I think this is going to be difficult. It was actually not a big deal. I felt really comfortable. And it's just gotten better and better every time I shoot another scene. So it's just, now it's just, I almost feel like I can't have sex unless there's an audience.
Oh, wow. That's
I always tell them, if there's not an audience, I don't know what to do. I'm just
oh my God, I
used
love
to,
that voyeurism.
Somebody's watching it, right?
So does that lead you to be like, if you're dating somebody, are you like, hey, come on, we got to get outside?
You leave the curtains open?
Yeah.
I do leave the curtains open. My blinds are always open. My stuff's always open, and my friends come over and do you have very friendly neighbors? I was like, I figured they either like the view or they don't. I mean, it's...
Oh my God, your neighbors probably love you.
I'm not shy. I
yeah,
just
don't
care. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. But I don't know, actually. I'm recently single, so I don't know how it is to date, and what do you do? What do you do? So, I only know how to do everything in the name of content.
When you were in your relationship, though, was this before you got in the industry or after?
No, I've always been in a relationship since I've been in this industry, but I haven't.
Oh.
I'm on a break of one.
Oh, wow. So now it's you might start dating and
I don't even know. Yeah. That's how do you do that?
Are you nervous that men are going to be intimidated?
Or, yeah.
Or it's like
so
intimidated or a fan or too much of a fan.
And they're a fanboy, right? So you're like, what? Where do you go here?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm on my first dating site. I'm already over it.
Which one?
Hinge.
Oh, you know what? That's a good one.
Everyone says it's a good one.
I'm banned from that one.
It's not been a good one.
You're banned from Hinge?
I'm banned. I think it was an ex-boyfriend. He saw me on there and he requested me again, and I stupidly added him, and he was like, what the hell are you doing on here? And I think he reported me because they were just like, we have to ban you for violating the terms. And I was just like, what?
Terms?
They won't tell me. I've been in the appeals for 9 months, so I don't know.
Oh, well, I'm on it, and my subscription expires soon, and I'm letting it expire because it was
really?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you get on the other dating sites, Hinge has the best looking people. The free like dating apps, like the rest of them,
I feel like
it's hard out there.
Tinder's like looking through it's like going to Goodwill.
No, it is. It is.
I feel like it's going to Goodwill.
You have to swipe for so long. It's like maybe every 200th. You're like, maybe. And it's still a maybe. It's not even like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. And I feel like, I don't know. There's just too much, it's just too hard.
I think it also depends on the state. I think swiping in New York is a lot different. It's a lot more like, I don't know, eligible, like good looking, I don't know, LA sometimes or Orange County. Me and my friends talk about this. We're like, when you go to other places and you update the location, you're like, damn, why the fuck? Like, why am I like in LA? So I think it just depends if you're.
I don't know, but I don't even know how to get to the sex part of that because it's easy as a porn star to just have sex with anybody, right?
Yeah.
And they all want to just do that for the sake of saying they fucked a porn star.
Yeah.
So I'm more of like, this is harder than you think.
Yeah. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, like I could, but why?
Yeah, why?
If I do that, I'll do it in the name of content.
Yeah, right? Yeah. You're like, what makes you special?
Yeah, like
what do you like?
You have to make me want
earn it, motherfucker.
Yeah,
like,
really
what
have
makes
to make me want
like,
it?
Yeah, you're like, I make money here.
Doing
this is like a job. So like, you know.
But do you ever feel like because you do that professionally that it loses its pizzazz in the bedroom when you're in a relationship?
Not at all.
No.
I think I'm far more passionate in real life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
There's definitely a separation because I feel like when you're shooting porn, it's more technical. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stop and go, and you make sure you hit these positions and you're open to the camera. It's not the same enjoyment as.
You can't really get into it. You can't.
Not the same way. Yeah. I mean,
okay.
you have fun, but it's not like, oh, I'm gonna orgasm, can't hold on to it. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
No, I was just gonna get there. We stopped. We switched position. The light was wrong. Somebody did, phone rang. Who knows?
If you're making your own content, though, do you throw all those rules out the window?
Yes and no, but it's hard because you're still trying to, open for the camera.
Yeah.
And so that still makes it a little bit difficult. And any partner I've tried to film with has not been a professional, so they really don't know. I've had a few that we did things in a content share, and it went really well. But you still don't get to the end the way you want to.
So usually, do you leave set then without an orgasm?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
It's like
bummer.
It's like blue balls. Yeah, it's like blue balls, and it's like the worst way to go home. You're just like,
I agree. I know that feeling.
I feel bad for the next man that I actually get my claws on because.
Oh my god. That's horrible. I think a lot of people do not know that. Like, because I know so many men that actually go to porn to learn about sex. And they're like, I mean, I remember even dating guys when I was younger, and they're like, you're not doing all this. And I'm like, I think some of that's acting, man. That's not necessarily. Yeah.
I think that going to
it's porn, from a male's gaze, and I just
going to porn for sex education, I think, is a mistake.
Yeah.
Because
it's unrealistic.
That's very unrealistic. And I mean, the positions are not unrealistic, but the way it translates is not, fucking me on this table is not going to be as fun as I make it look. Yeah. Because this is very uncomfortable.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
But we make it look good. And that's the acting. We're selling.
Have you ever worked with like a female producer? And if so, is it different?
I feel like, yes, I have. I feel like it is different, but not maybe in the way people assume. There's a lot more of catering to your comfort.
Oh.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good thing.
It's a good thing. Yeah. But I feel like as a whole, all the studios have been doing a really good job at catering to your comfort, having a female liaison. I know with a lot of the younger talent, they absolutely have to these days. Yeah. I'm a little bit more old school. This is truly business to me. So I come in to show up and do my job.
The younger generation is a little bit like that.
I've had some experiences with them and seen messes. And yes, I just am not.
I work with a lot of models too, and then some of the younger ones, like I do have to like really like hold the hands, and I'm like, yes, there's a lot going on, you know.
There's a lot going on, and I mean it's just being professional. Yeah, and you just haven't learned a business acumen yet, and a lot of them went straight from high school right into porn, and I had a whole career before I got into porn. So
what was your career before?
I worked in IT tech.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Very
But I
cool.
worked for like VPs, senior VPs, presidents of companies that you know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so I, being on that side of things is different, and then you learn so much about sales and marketing. And that's where I was, and then I
Right.
turned around and got into porn and was like, oh, I know how to sell and market myself.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, so it worked out really good.
So let me ask you this: so with a female director, right? Do they cater to the female orgasm more or no? Would you
Not
they don't-
necessarily.
I think that would be the case. I would
hope so.
think, like, okay, we
Hoping
gotta
for that.
let her get off.
That's right.
Let her get off.
I've had those conversations with a lot of people, but I really feel like, in the whole of things, it's just not marketed. It's not marketable the way we want it to be, the way it is to the male audience. While there is a gaining female audience, it's just not the same. Like, I love all our social media platforms, the premium ones, but I wouldn't subscribe to a guy. Not because I'm cheap.
I 100%
For some
agree
reason,
with that.
for me, and I feel like I'm like a lot of women, the dick doesn't mean anything to me unless I've experienced said dick.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to subscribe to porn for the same reasons as a man would. It's really entertainment men, right? But to women, it's entertainment, but more of like, for me, it's like, how is she doing that? You know?
Yeah.
She got 6 guys. She weighs 90 pounds.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm just trying to figure out how she did that.
She's a trooper.
I say
Yeah,
that all the
that's
time.
real talent,
That's so
right?
funny, yeah.
I'm
She
more
stretched
of the-
out before.
Yeah, she stretched all.
I don't even think you can. Is that?
all the things were stretched
Yeah,
out?
I don't even know how you prepare for that.
Because I'm just like, wow. But I think with guys, it's, it's all the visual stimulation, and it's just different. So I think the female orgasm as a goal in porn is just not.
I think it should be.
I think that people have tried it, and it
So
just
if-
doesn't really go anywhere yet.
So if you were going to direct, let's say you were going to direct a porn, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would the premise be? What would be the outcome? Would it be ultimately the female
It would probably be more
squirt
mutual.
or
It would be mutual orgasms, but focus on the female probably, and then also I am a big fan of like full movie type productions.
Yes.
Like I want it to be very intense and a lot of build up and a lot of,
like the woman comes home and he's cleaning the house, doing the dishes,
No,
Not necessarily
like
that.
a role
What?
reversal,
No,
like a role
No,
reversal.
I'm saying like Eyes Wide Shut, but
Oh.
but all the women are getting their brains fucked out
Yeah,
for their
like
pleasure
that.
instead of
Yeah, put
like the
put
men are
the
being
men to
used
work.
and discarded.
That's right.
I like that. Cleopatra
going.
time.
We should do that.
Let's
We should
embrace
produce
that
that.
energy.
No, that was my idea.
We should produce it.
No,
Let's get behind you
I
and
want to be in it.
You're gonna direct it.
I have a whole script.
You'll
written
direct
already.
it
I
and
actually
be
have
in it.
3. Like I've written with my friend, but they're all very about the woman. It's like a female empowerment and,
I love
and the
it.
female orgasm. But the men are utilized and discarded in each. Like one is like a Black Widow killer where she has sex with men and she kills each one.
I think there was something real.
But she's having an orgasm.
we're ready for that. I'm just telling you
And
right now.
She carries this box around, and in there, we don't know what the box is, but it's implied it's their dick or their balls.
Oh, I
and
love
it's
that.
like all about power. She's like feeding this witch, but this witch is possessed. It's like this whole, like in my mind, there's like
I
all
love
these
that.
stories.
It's very like
I'm-
Games of Thrones.
Yeah.
But it's like all these little
I've seen
elements.
all
of
these
it.
movies, and then the whole thing turns out to be a dream. It's like, oh yeah, I have all these crazy ass.
I
think
love
think you should
that.
execute that.
Yeah, well, I just need financial backing. So
Yeah, we
I have a lot
might
of
be able
ideas.
to.
But yeah, it has to be done, I think, differently for the female orgasm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
Men, in order for men to enjoy it, they have to see the orgasm. They have to see the finish.
Yeah.
In all mine, they get multiple finishes, but they're discarded because the woman can't be satisfied, really. She's like, wants more.
Mm.
And wants this one, too, and that one, too.
Yeah.
It just keeps going. And all different types of men, too. It's never the same guy,
That's right.
you know.
I love that. And I think the way the world is moving right now, I think we're ready to see that. You've been seeing in like mainstream in the movies, you keep seeing these powerful now female leads.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what movie it's from like the younger generation kiddie stuff to whatever. So I think in porn we're kind of going there. And there is a big audience for women too, because you watch stuff like 50 Shades of Grey. And I think at times we just want a story and we just want to see like some sensuality.
Yes.
That's why a lot of women
of
gravitate
sensuality,
towards lesbian porn
right?
sometimes.
And passion.
Yeah.
And you want it to look more real. And I think
Yeah.
with men, it's just let's hurry up and get to the penetration, and I'm in the net, and it's over, right? And I won't.
Sometimes that's hot. Yeah.
I'll be like, all right, big dicks, let's go. And then it's like, yep, okay, I got myself off, we're good, bye. You know, I don't have time to watch a full feature.
But we want to see a series of that. We want to see that moment, and then we also want to see you being like sensual, and we want to see it all. We're like more complex, and I think everything's from the male gaze, and it's like we're missing out on so many other markets in our industry. Like we can pull in more.
Agree.
You should change the game. You should do that.
I'm trying to, one thing at a time.
That's right.
I'm trying to get plus size women more accepted in the industry. You know, women of color in the industry. So, you know, kind of have my hands in all these pots.
Do you get any? Do you get any discrimination? Do you feel it in the industry, or is it has it evolved, or
discrimination from which standpoint, though?
Because you said big-bodied women, right?
Yeah.
So do you get discriminated because of that?
Yes.
Tell us.
We do as a group. I myself obviously have broken a lot of barriers.
Yeah.
I'm here now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
There's a lot of firsts, but I really do feel like a lot of it is the kind of chip on the shoulder that the community tends to have, and that's where the discrimination comes from. There's a lot of ideas, you know, the old school porn producers and stuff think that men only want a certain type of female, and my numbers prove very differently.
100%.
And you know, in certain communities, like the Black community and the Latino community, I am just a healthy woman. I'm not fat or plus size necessarily. I'm a queen. That's what they call you, right?
That's
You're
right.
a queen. You have the body of a goddess. So I try to use that as an empowering, you know, stepping stone. And every studio I've approached or been talking to over years, trying to get my foot in the door. It worked eventually. It just took a long time to do it. Is trying to, show the community, the world, that you're inclusive. Show them that you're diverse. And while I still think we have a long way to go, there's definitely opportunity there now that wasn't there before. And being a Latina and full-sized or plus-sized or BBW or whatever you want to call me, queen size, goddess size.
I like that.
Yeah.
Queen size, goddess size.
Yeah.
Goddess size.
Yeah.
Sexy.
You know, it's just, that's my marketing point, my selling point. Like, listen, if you want to show the community and that you're really trying to make these changes, then start here. We still have a long way to go, but start somewhere. And I know I'm a good in-between, where I'm definitely not almost fat. I'm fat. But I'm not, over where it's like shocking and I'm not ready, people aren't ready for it yet. And then the same thing with the ethnicity. I know, I have a lot of friends in the Black community, and we're trying to push for people of color as a whole, but it's like we have to take the steps. And I would love for it to just be everybody great all the time.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think that's an unrealistic thing. So there's still a lot of discrimination. I feel like I don't feel discrimination from a race perspective, but for size. But I have no problem with a lot of top male talent, let's go shoot some content. Like, okay, let's just get the studio to pay for it.
Yeah, why not?
I love that.
Yeah, so it happens, it's just like I have to wait my turn like everybody else on the roster.
That's right.
So do you think having the content creator sites coming about, do you think that that's helped with, goddess size women? Like,
absolutely. Everybody I know in my genre is making ridiculous money on all the premium sites, right? And there's a lot of people still struggling. I think there's other factors involved, and that's consistency and really, presenting yourself a certain way plays a part on social media. So, if you're constantly panhandling and you always seem to be struggling, people don't really gravitate to that kind of energy. So you want to be more positive and get people. So there's just a lot of factors. There's a lot of girls that need a lot of coaching. But those platforms have definitely given us a place to exist freely and powerfully, and I love it. I'm doing really well on all of them, and have been just moving along with it.
That's awesome, because you get to. It's crazy. Like, I've been in this industry for quite a bit, and I'm obviously on the business side, but I'm an advocate of obviously being a woman of color, of trying to get all these. I'm trying to make companies more diverse that I work with. Right. And it's crazy sometimes when I'm talking to some of the people that own, how they are so one, like it's just one side, narrow-minded. They're just like, no, that won't sell. I don't think that will sell. And I'm like, let me look at what you looked up in porn. Let me see your history. Because you looking at all this shit. So don't fucking tell me that it's not going to sell. You know what I mean? I think there's like, some types of old ways of thinking, and people don't want to, say that they're, oh yeah, no, I'm into that too, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. But I'm always like challenging the companies that I work with because it's just stupid. I mean, this is $1 billion industry, but it could be $1 trillion industry. They're fucking, like a lot of people are fucking idiots. I'm just like.
And I think that's really changing though. That balance is changing because the younger generations are very fluid. Yeah. So they want to see everything all the time. My fan base, that 24 to 32 or 34, whatever it is like my peak. And these younger guys, like, lose my virginity 1 million times a day, proposed 1 million times a day. It's just like ridiculous. And it's like, but the body type is desired. Oh yeah. And I always want to challenge that status quo with every company that I can, because there is something there. And my numbers have been proving it. Like, it's like, just give me the chance and watch. Now, I don't feel like every single fat girl is marketable, but there's space for us.
But neither is every skinny girl.
Oh, that's so true.
So I'm just like, it baffles me with people. I'm just like, and when you even look at trends in society, it changes over time.
Oh, I know. Well,
so I'm like,
BBW has been on the top 5 of Pornhub searches since like 2011. Yeah. And my name is in that top 5 too, like constantly moving, right? 1 to 5. But why is there not more of that kind of porn being marketed? Well, it's the only place you can find it is on Pornhub or any of the hub sites. Yeah. Or now our own content pages, right? Yeah. So
which is more empowering. That's good.
The studios are missing out on that. I mean, Brazzers has obviously grabbed me and said, "Hey, look, this is working." Oh, awesome. Which has been good. Yeah. And I'm trying to get other people to see that. And I know like a couple of the other studios have tried, and it didn't go as well as they thought. But I think it's because they were trying with the wrong.
But it's also, and I always tell people this because I get so annoyed when people do something and they're like, "Oh, it didn't work," and I'm like, what's the traffic getting there? How did you promote this? Yeah. A lot of people don't even know about media. It's just, they don't even know what they're doing.
They also, you can't use the same 5 or 6 girls that are popular. You got to get the new up and comers. And you also need to, you can't do something and it'll release 6 scenes or 6 or 12 episodes or scenes or whatever you want to call it. You have to like give it a couple of years to grow and it be a source for that kind of porn to be consumed. They don't just go looking, nobody's going to expect it to be there. Yeah. And then I get the fans that are like, I never liked big girls, and then I saw you and was like, whoa, and those are my favorite. Like, oh yeah, okay, see, I'm glad you got your fingers in the pudding.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
you converted them.
You're like, where you been, under a rock, bro? Yeah, welcome to the world, baby.
There's a lot to experience. Yeah. So I'm always a fan of those type of like, hey, I know. And I get the really young kids, 19. I found this picture of you, look so beautiful. Like, that was like 12 years ago.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So what do the fans ask you to do though? What are some of the top things that they ask you to do on those sites?
For my content sites, almost everything is solo masturbation at this point.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Isn't that crazy? And that is what's crazy to me. I don't have like a steady partner to shoot content, boy-girl content. And I won't just engage in randoms or randoms in the industry, obviously, but because if you can't give it consistently, then they get upset. So I've learned that already. So I just continue solo. But there's a lot of domination, face sitting, anything where I can. But that's how I started. When I first started,
POV face sitting.
Mm-hmm. I do a lot of POV, anything where I've been dominant or I'm threatening to take your breath away with my boobs or my ass. It's different parts of my body too. Sometimes it's my thighs, like because everything's large proportions. Yeah. But it's just a lot of guys that really just suffocate me. I want to feel the weight of a woman on me. Yeah, it's so funny. It's like, which part you want first?
Oh my God, that's
but there's a lot of that. I did for Easter, I did like a Bad Bunny all in a red room. And I really didn't show a whole lot. It was one of my top sellers. All because it was just me being dominant to the camera and doing a lot of like, you can't. Just he's in denial of these massive boobs, this massive ass, these massive legs, and, fake whipping the camera. And just everything was implied. God, I love it. But I never really showed anything.
That's right. Like Alfred Hitchcock.
It's just a tease.
But that might be too old of a
Yeah,
reference.
I don't know.
I know Alfred Hitchcock. Over her.
Oh yeah.
He never really showed.
Excuse
He never really showed the killing in the. He just implied the killing in the
Okay.
movies. That's why.
I do know the older movies were
And
like
he did
that.
a cameo
You
in
just
every
see-
one of his movies.
Yeah, like Shyamalan. So okay, so what are your favorite kind of scenes to do? What do you do?
For the studios.
Well, whatever. What
For
is
the
your
studios
favorite
and then
thing?
yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the studios, I like a more traditional gonzo.
What does that
Just-
mean?
We just get straight to it.
Just get in
Like,
there.
hi, nice to meet you, and I couldn't wait.
Give me that.
Yeah. Those are fun. Those are really, like, at the top. But I do like full acting where it takes some actual talent. Not that it doesn't take talent to do it the other way, but, more of a skill that, is acquired in acting.
A build up, a
little
bit
a
of story.
Yeah, a little bit of a build up, a pickup of some sort are also very fun.
Because Brasner's big for that, right? They always have a little bit of a. I always see their ads, and it's like,
yeah. And I am very fortunate they've given me. I think I've done 13 scenes, and every one has been a top ad scene.
Oh,
So that tells
nice.
you kind of like where they're putting me. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm so thankful for whoever saw me and decided we're taking her. Because it's just been amazing for them. That's been a great ride for me so far.
Oh,
And
awesome.
they're always asking me, "Do you want to try this? Do you want to try that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, let's do that." Well, if it's this person, maybe. But I feel like there's still so much for me to do that I can't say something right now. This might be what I want, but as time goes on, I don't know what else I'm gonna experience that I might enjoy. So I kind of I just have a very wide palette, I guess. It's kind of like I want to try everything once.
That's right.
Do you feel like it's growing because you're in the industry too? Like
It's growing.
you're like how more intense because it's
I thought I was going to
orgasm
retire.
being-
I thought I was going to retire last year. And I had been gearing myself from 2018 to retire in 2020. That's not going to happen.
Oh yeah,
I
because
don't even
everybody's
see my-
approaching you now
It's
too.
like,
still.
it's like really, I'm like, okay, where am I getting to the top of this roller coaster? Because I haven't gotten there yet. It's just been really.
If you do retire, like Jay-Z, your stock might go up for the next. If you come out of retirement, this is my come out of retirement film.
I've heard this. And I can't. It's like ending a really good relationship.
No, you better stay. You better stay in there.
What's
Yeah.
something that you said you can't really say right now because there's so much for you to do? Is there anything that you're like, that's what I want to do. That's what I'm like. That's the next scene I want to do. I'm waiting for this opportunity.
I really want to do something where someone, corrupts me.
Oh.
I've never been a submissive to anybody. I'm usually the dominant person or the dominant personality or
Yeah.
the star or whatever. But I want to be where I'm I do a mini series, 3 kind of films where I'm just going to say it because they're on my head, but it doesn't necessarily need to be them. But like a Joanna Angel in Small Hands, corrupt me. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
Take myself. but that doesn't come natural. So it's that's something I think I really, really want to do. I don't care who it is. It doesn't even have to be them. I'm just saying that they're in the top of my mind right now.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying something like that. It's just the corruption of Sophia. Just take me and.
Oh, I love the name.
I
know. That could be a big seller.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
think
I mean?
it really would be because I've been so dominant in all my stuff that it would be the first time that I'm really more of a.
Yes, especially
You know,
because you're so well known. So if somebody's just they're like, you know what, fuck that bitch. And that's the story. Like, she really, she came in and took some seeds from me. No, we're going to fuck her up. We're going to take her down. You know what I mean? Just something like that. And they tie you up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
They accidentally throw something in there, smoke you out, or I don't know.
I don't know either.
No, they give you an edible. They give you an edible. That's what it is.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're just tied. Yeah.
I'm just like,
No, I think that
hey.
could be a good one. Joanna Angel. I'm saying her name wrong. Joanna Angel. It's Small Hands. She's ready.
Yeah. He knows. I told him. I was like, anytime you guys are ready to corrupt me, I'm ready.
Yeah, no, that would actually be good because you're always in these other roles, and it's. I think that would be a huge seller, even if you.
Well, and then there's a real element to it because, I think if it was a little bit of a horror or scary, intense like that, because I'm a natural screamer when it comes to scary movies. I don't do a lot of horror films. I don't watch them because I'm a screamer. I was like, this would be the best role for me to be like the girl tripping and getting fucked. Like we got her again.
So would you ever do something with like kink.com, like the type of scenarios they have?
Yeah.
They have some good shit. I mean, they were just bought, so I don't know what's happening with them, but I wonder when they're going to start producing again. They have some good shit.
I'm trying to approach everybody I can with just stick your fingers in the BBW genre for a second. Let me try it. And if you don't, then you don't do it again. But at least you tried. I mean,
yeah.
And I'm happy to be the guinea pig.
That's right.
I feel like I know my arrogance shows here, my diva shows, but it's like I know they're gonna get a good result. Then it's like I set a bar, and that's what I want.
Yeah.
Let me set the bar, and then if you don't want to keep doing it, don't. But it's worked out so.
No, there needs to be somebody that confident that to trailblaze, because people are just so one-sided, and they're just like, well, this works, so we don't really want to.
They don't want to change the machine.
They don't like right. And it's
but
just like, but they're losing out on money.
They're missing out.
And
she's collecting up on her ItsMii site and OnlyFans site and all those good.
All of the sites.
All of those sites.
And that's the truth is, if they can't get it from a studio, they're gonna go get it from us directly. Which hey, I don't mind that either. But I don't know why everyone doesn't have their fingers in this pie.
They should get it in. They should get their fingers. Get their fingers all in there.
Trying to get Fleshlight to do it first.
We're working on that.
Literally, get the fingers in the pie.
100%.
So, Sophia, what kind of guys are you into? Like, so let's say this guy's gonna come dominate you. What kind of guys are you into?
Oh my God, a guy that was gonna dominate me? That is hard to say.
Well, that's what you said. Nobody's ever dominated you.
No.
What kind of guy are you gonna let come in and
that's
dominate?
A psychological thing, really.
Okay.
On film?
Oh yeah.
On film, it would be the small. It would be Aaron. Somebody like him.
Okay.
Covered in tattoos, a little eyeliner. Chris Angel. I don't know.
Yeah, he has a little Chris Angel like.
Chris Angel in
it.
Yeah. No, I mean that's for film. But I mean, when it comes to like organically, what kind of men I'm into, I don't have a type necessarily, but I like nice people.
Nice is always good. I know
nice
a lot of girls
guy
that like
not
assholes.
Yeah. I do too. I know a lot of people that like assholes. So that's actually a nice thing to say.
Everybody in this industry likes an asshole, and I don't.
I'm the same. I don't want an asshole either.
But you need a guy with a big unit, right? That's what. No.
Well,
you're not
definitely not small.
You can't have a small one.
I was married to a guy who had like a 4-inch. Like I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know because I didn't watch porn, so I didn't know his dick was small and didn't really. It was. Yes, I don't even know how that happened. But once I started to experiment, I was like, "Wow, let me make."
You're like, I'm missing out. I've been missing out. I haven't been alive.
I had no idea.
I feel like that's a good story to tell because I feel like a lot of women have those type of realizations. Like, you know, a couple years when they start like getting into their 20s or something like that, they're like, "Yo, I've been missing out. I thought that this was all there was."
I didn't get fully comfortable with sex and even knowing really truly how to orgasm till I was 30.
I'm right around there too. Like getting in I was like late 20s.
Yeah.
Like you don't because porn isn't even about us.
No.
So you really don't know. And they try to just shun us with
if you squirt, you came.
Yeah.
Guess what?
No.
We don't squirt, and we still come.
Yeah, exactly. So, and we can have multiple orgasms from multiple places, multiple times. And when your ass is tired, get up.
Yeah. And it's funny, too, because then I had one guy over the summer that I took a little trip with, and he was going down on me, and he kept going, "You're not reacting enough. Are you enjoying it?" I'm like...
Work harder.
What? I was very much enjoying it. I was like in a trance, like, oh, don't stop, right? But I mean, because I wasn't acting enough.
Yeah, because you
wanted the reaction.
And you're like, this is not a movie.
I was like, and I told him that. I said, "Oh, were you paying for an experience, or did you want that?"
Yeah.
It's like, we're not doing that. I'm not grabbing the sheets. That's an act. I mean, do I want to feel that way? Sure, but at this point, I was just like, oh, it's been so long since someone did this. I knew what they were doing, and I just lay here and just. Ugh.
You're like, can I just not move for a second?
Yeah. And then he gave me a hard time, and you know what I said? I go, "Excuse me." But I gave you a blowjob last night, and you fell asleep while I was sucking your dick. And he goes, is that good or bad? I go, well, I took it as a compliment that I got you so relaxed. Your dick was still hard. And he got so relaxed he fell asleep.
He didn't ejaculate?
No, we did eventually.
But you put him to sleep without ejaculation?
Yeah, he was just relaxed. But his dick was hard as a rock. So the
First
next
thing you go to sleep
You're
with
magic.
that dick.
That's blowjob magic.
Yeah, so the next morning.
That's sorcery.
Yes. Eventually I sat on
Blowjob
him and
wizardry.
we finished it. But my point is, then so he's going down on me and complaining that you're not making. You full on fell asleep, my son.
I swear men need so much coddling during sex
And that's what I
sometimes.
was like,
Mommy issues.
your ego upset that I'm not
Yeah.
having mind-blowing sex, but really I was like, yeah.
Because they're not worried about our orgasm. They're worried
But
about
he-
their feelings and their ego.
Well, you're right.
Like, you know what I mean?
But he wanted
they're
me to
worried
come, but I
about
was
it,
just-
but they're worried. It's like they're more like worried about you. It's subconsciously, they don't realize that like you're not really worried just about me because you would just let me chill and let me just.
Why are you interrupting me? Stop. Just keep going.
Oh
Don't
God.
stop to ask questions.
I swear I want to do a class for men sometimes because sometimes I'm just so flabbergasted by the experiences that women go through on a regular basis.
And this is like a grown ass man. He knew. I was just like, you fell asleep. If you fell asleep, I'm allowed to relax too. Like, just
100%.
stay there. Don't move. Do what you're doing.
And sometimes sometimes we're just feeling it.
Yeah.
And like, you know what? Tap into that intuition and you'll know I'm in the, it's
He
it's
didn't
feeling
like that I
good.
wasn't grabbing the sheets and pulling them off the bed and just I don't know what he expected, but
Rookie.
yeah.
I get over that when people want me to be that theatrical. I mean, there's moments of that, but if you're like, when people become high maintenance with the way they expect me to be, we're probably gonna break up.
That's
I'm
an
gonna be
ego
tired
thing.
of you eventually.
Yeah.
So, have you ever hooked up with a fan?
Not on camera.
Never on camera?
I mean, not on camera. I mean, I have hooked up. I don't define hooking up. What is hooking up?
Okay,
It's a broad term. It's
Yeah,
a
what
broad
do you-
term.
what- what's your
Very
what's your
broad,
definition?
isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think it depends on how conservative you are. Like some people, like they think it's, to a conservative person, hooking up could be kissing. Some of us it means fucking. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I
Me, it's
think
fucking.
hooking up is fucking. That's what I
Yeah.
think.
I think it is too. Okay, but if they paid for the hookup, does that count?
Yeah.
That's it's a business transaction too. At the same time.
No, yeah, I guess. Well, you know what? It's not you hooking up with the fan just because you're
Now it's
like,
a customer.
damn, and it just
Exactly.
happened. So it's not
That's the
that. It's
question.
not that.
Yeah, like has there been a fan that said, "Hey, I really like you. Can I take you to dinner?" And then you end up no,
No,
never that bridge never got crossed.
no.
Okay.
Because usually they're too much of a fanboy that I'm already turned off or nervous.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Right? Like,
Yeah.
that's not happening. And don't get me wrong, I get a lot of very nice gentlemen who approach me appropriately, but it's just, you're doing it on Instagram, it's just automatically a turn off to me. It's like, okay, out
Lame.
of all the hundreds of people that are messaging me, like, it's just not realistic. And I haven't hooked up with anybody on Hinge yet, so it's like,
I've never done the dating sites.
I never have either. This is new to me, and it's so weird.
It is weird.
Really
I mean, it's
weird.
not the best. Honestly, I hate online dating.
You swipe
so.
left, swipe right. That's it.
You don't have to on Hinge. They send you a message or send you a rose or whatever, and then you match or don't match. And let's put it this way: I have a lot of pending matches.
That you're just like, meh. Well, has anybody like
But they've been fans, so they would have been a hookup had I gone somewhere.
gone
but it's
somewhere?
like,
But that's what I mean because you're so well known, so it's kind of tricky. But
Yeah.
has anybody big slid into the DMs?
not on Hinge, on the DMs.
Mhm.
Oh hell yeah! Those blue checks are.
Can you say anybody?
Of course I can. Of course I can.
Air them out.
Half the NFL, at least half the NBA.
No way.
And they'll know when I'm in New York or Florida or Texas or wherever they know.
Who's the biggest?
I can't say.
Ah!
Air them
Have
out.
Come on.
Have you ever like taken it far though with anybody that has those blue check marks? Has there anybody been like worth your time where you're like, fucks yeah?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
But they have a wife or something.
Yeah, so it's like
difficult.
Like Dr. Dre.
There's some musicians in there and,
what
celebrities.
What about What about Drake? He ever been in the DMs?
No, not
No.
yet.
Oh, Drake.
He gonna come. I know it. He gonna come.
I'm waiting for 50.
He gonna come.
Tagged him
Drake.
I've tagged him a few times.
Which one?
50 Cent.
Oh yeah, now he's with this girl that he's been
Don't
with
matter.
for a
We know
while.
that don't matter.
I
Doesn't
know,
matter who
she's-
they're with, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
gotta
I know
protect
she
my
seems to
music.
always be like up under his ass though. She a little crazy, so I was like, I don't think he been on the market, been able to slide away. But that is hilarious.
Yeah, no, the people in my DMs I think would shock a lot of porn and a lot of Hollywood and a lot of other people too. Yeah, it's just, I just feel like when you're in the porn industry, your audience is so vast. These are very well known people. They are fans of me, which is always like weird. It's like, oh, but you're like, oh my god, all right. But they are, and I think it's actually really flattering when it's like I go look up to Google their wife, and I just look like a fuller version of their wife or something. I'm like, oh, I see it. I see what it is. I get it. Okay, I'll take it. But yeah, I haven't been able. No one's locked me down. Let's put it that way. If they wanted to, they could. I had one guy who's like aspiring. He goes to LSU, and he was like, "I'm not gonna lie. If you just gave me one chance," I said, "I will give you a chance. Let's go have some juice. Like, 'cause you're like 20. I'll buy you juice." He goes, "For real though?" I was like, "Oh my."
Yo, it's a trend right now.
Just get
The
you
younger
some
guys.
juice.
Some of them are a little bit more mature than some of the older ones.
Oh
lately.
yeah, my most recent ex is 19 years younger than me, so he.
Oh, okay. See,
I'm not a cougar on purpose, but kind of happened. But it's just like
Me
Good for
neither.
you,
I
though.
feel you on that. I usually date older, and then there's been a couple of instances where I'm dating younger, but it's like the older like these guys seem like they're about 10 years old. I mean, some of the younger guys are a little bit more mature, and I don't know.
Who's better in bed though? The younger guys or the older guys?
it just depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like what?
So, do I want multiple rounds of quick sex, or do I want 1 or 2 rounds of long, passionate sex?
And the old guys, I'm assuming, give you the long,
Oh,
passionate.
they'll go down on you for hours, and that's like a whole thing.
Do you think it's because they're so old they forget that they're down there, or they have dementia or something? They're
Don't go that old.
I'm just kidding.
I definitely think that the older men know what they like and enjoy that. If that's their thing, they enjoy it, and so they will stay down there because there's no such thing as too much, right?
Yeah. Well, I think like with me, I'm a little bit older, and I actually my enjoyment comes from making sure I don't come until she comes at least once, and so I get my enjoyment off of making sure she gets hers.
But were you like that younger?
Were you like
No,
that
when I
in-
was younger, I was like a freaking chihuahua on somebody's leg.
Oh my god! I have
Let me
a
get mine.
chihuahua, and I can show you video in my phone of that dog like eating.
Oh my God.
He gets it in.
Yeah. Oh, he has bears, and they're all pregnant.
Oh, well,
Oh my God.
Bear
a black
dogs.
one and a brown one and a white one. So
he's
even
diverse. Yeah, that's right.
It's crazy though. Yeah, a lot of I mean, I met some younger guys that I guess are a little bit, more sensual, but I'm big into astrology, so I look at your placements.
I do a lot of that too. But I feel like it just really depends on the mood of what I'm looking for. Yeah. Because I feel like when it comes to the relationship part, it doesn't matter if you're 25 or 55.
Yeah.
The problems can still be the same.
Yeah.
Just one has more baggage than the other.
100%. Sometimes I feel like if you're older, to like, some people can be more stuck in their ways, whereas
They're very stuck.
they don't have the experiences yet. So, or sometimes they do, but they're not as jaded. Where sometimes you meet somebody
So
a little
true.
older and they're like, you know what? 20 years ago, this happened. You're like, calm down. That's not me.
They're taking it out on you.
Yeah, I'm like, you need to heal from this. Get in therapy. Come on.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's definitely an energy shift for sure too. I know that I feel like I'm a young for my age type person, and I meet men my age, and it's like, you're already boring. You're already so set and bored, and I'm like, no, I'm still the person who's like in the Chicago airport going, oh, I'm gonna go to Hawaii and just go. And I'm at Hawaii, and then just like, okay, I'm gonna come home for 2 days, and then I'm leaving somewhere else. Like, I'm that person.
Yeah.
And I can't. Someone who's my age or older is not. They're not doing that. They're not. Just not.
Yeah. No, I've had those type of situations with sometimes older guys where they are. I get bored easily too.
Like you said, set in their ways. They
set in their
really
ways.
want it to be the same thing.
And they want, it's 5:00. We're gonna be home and eat. I need some excitement. I'm always gonna be like this. I already know. I got too much fire in my chart, so I'm like, look, the routine is not gonna work for me.
No routine.
But do you think you cause drama though because of that?
Unevolved me. Yes, I try not to do that now. Now I'll just break up with you. I'm not gonna cause no drama. I'm just gonna be like, we're gonna have the conversation. Mm-hmm. But if I do it multiple times, then I'm gonna start feeling crazy. So then I'm gonna say,
yeah,
I'm not what you want. You're not what I want. Like, you need somebody that's gonna be here at 6, eating dinner every night. Like, I don't want that mundane routine. I get if you have kids, sometimes you have to adjust around certain things. But even then, there's still ways to live a little.
I think my life's way too unpredictable, and sometimes that's hard for a lot of people. It makes people feel insecure, and I think that's natural. It's not like intentional. So because I'm very fly by the seat of my pants, and it's not because I'm trying to be flaky or shady or anything. It's just my friends tried to surprise me for my birthday in July, and they couldn't because. Well, Brazzers called me for this shoot in Vegas and then 2 days later in LA. And so how was I supposed to, and then it just, and then I wasn't going and then I was going. They can't even surprise me. So I can understand for a man who wants to be home by 5:00 and eat at 6:00 and be in bed by 9 and all that's like.
Lame city.
No, it's just like, dude, I woke up at like 11. I'm not ready for bed.
And that doesn't work for your schedule.
Yeah, and, and I'm probably going to be streaming at that late at night and or doing something with my content, or I'm online somewhere, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
So you're gonna need somebody with a crazy schedule too, like,
well, these younger, I shouldn't say these younger guys, but a lot of the younger community and a lot of people are working from home, so that does help a lot.
Helps a lot.
That's a good thing. I'm like, oh, you're home, like, but then at the same time, like, get out of here, I can't do these masturbation scenes when they know you're right there.
Oh yeah.
I thought you liked a room full of viewers.
Yeah, but not when it's your significant other.
Yeah, because you're playing a role.
Isn't he rooting you on?
No, because he knows. Okay, so it's like, you sound so fake.
Yeah. Because you're playing a role.
I'm critical of myself. I'm pretending to be somebody, I'm myself, but not. Like, I'm embellishing. So I even hear myself in the edits and I go, oh, stop. Like, that's how I sound. Or even in my own films, I'll watch them later and be like, oh my God, I said that? Where the hell was I? Like, because I feel like mentally I'm not really present. I'm in character. Yeah. So when I leave later, I go, I did what? I said what? Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I'm so hard on myself. And then I can't stand my voice. So, and then everyone always says, you do have different voices that come out for different things. And I'm like, I sound so weird. So yeah, even if my partner didn't say anything, I'm conscious of it. You were just all kind of self-conscious.
Yeah.
About like that.
I'm glad you said that too, because a lot of people probably look at you and a lot of models in the industry and they're like, oh my God, they're so confident. They're like the most confident people on the planet. But no, we're all human. We all have, things that were probably gonna bother us. And I think, even your fans knowing that too, that just makes you a little bit more human and like a little bit more, like touchable.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to be relatable to everybody. And so, when I'm in that headspace, I'm like, well, to them, this is gold. Yeah. To me, I'm like, stop talking, woman. So yeah, it's, I do like an audience, but my camera, I'm like, the camera is my audience at all times.
That's right. So who in the industry would you want to get with? Who
besides
would you
Joanna Angel?
Who would you want to? Yeah, who would you want to?
Isaiah Maxwell and I already did some content.
Oh, so you already fulfilled your fantasy.
But I need more of that.
Isaiah's packing heat or what?
Oh yeah. Oh, that was like, hold on, we got to stop. I need help. Let me go get some help. My mom taught me that line, by the way. Hold on, let me get some help. She said, I've only had to do it twice, But I went, let me go get some help, and really left. And I was like,
oh my
really?
God.
No, I just left, went to the bathroom, and was like, we're going to have a talk.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
going to work. And then it worked, and we were great, and we had a long film that I've still not released because I don't want to.
What's holding you back?
Nothing.
She wants round 2.
I need more.
Okay. You know what?
If I release one, I'm going to hear, when are you doing it again? Like,
You know what? We're going to have to ping Isaiah.
Isaiah, where you at, man?
Isaiah, we need number 2 movie made so number 1 can be released.
and then Ricky Johnson's high on the list. We've been talking about getting sweaty together for like 2.5, 3 years now.
Oh, I love him too. He's so
great.
charming.
Oh, he's so charming.
He's
We're both
got-
Chargers fans, so we're always like, giving each other, trying to.
And he's big time at Brazzers now, like
Yeah.
directing and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, he's
That's
great
awesome,
though.
yeah.
He's just a great human being. We laugh a lot.
Well, there's your scene, is the football scene.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
I've done one fantasy football scene once before,
There you go.
so.
You know what? That would get a lot of hits.
Mhm.
I guarantee that.
Especially releasing it
But
during
with-
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's
With-
Super Bowl coming up here in
Right,
February.
in February. But with Brazzers, we can't do anything with the labels, and so it's like it has to be imply. It's just so hard.
Well, what about
sometimes
doing it like
on our own?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked about it. So I don't know. Sometimes I just have a hard time like reeling them in. You know?
Yeah.
Like you talk a lot every time you see me. Do it.
Well, I know Ricky is so busy because even me, I saw him a few weeks ago at a party.
Oh yeah, he was at the
Yeah,
party. Yeah,
and I was just like, he was like, hey, and I'm like, man, I've been messaging you, and I actually had the wrong number because his number changed, and I haven't messaged him in probably about 2 years. And then I messaged him, and he did take a few days to get back to me, but he told me, he was like, man, I got this going on, I got this,
Yeah,
I got this,
he's
and I'm like,
always busy.
you're doing
Yeah.
great now. I'm like, I'm so proud of you. But I'm annoying and I don't mind. I'm just like, hey man, gotta talk some business. So I'll just keep sending the messages. I'm like, eventually
Eventually somebody responds. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and
definitely that way too. I think my publicist hates me some days because it's like, how many times has he sent me the same interview and I haven't responded? Okay, I'm doing it.
Is there
do it
any celebrity out there that you would want to shoot your shot to or do a scene with or whatever?
Yeah. Rob Gronkowski, JJ Watt,
Oh, football guys. She's into football guys.
Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I'm not sure.
Rob
who this is.
Gronkowski's a
What
Patriot.
Team? What team?
Rob Gronkowski's-
He's a Patriot?
Well,
Now I'm
not anymore.
embarrassed. Now
Not
I'm
anymore.
embarrassed.
JJ Watt was a Texan.
Okay.
But now, yeah, they both have been traded since.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
They're just big.
yeah.
They're like really well known people.
No, I just would be. I'd like to think I'd be a whole snack there, like they just
Oh,
put me over their shoulder. And,
yeah.
You know,
They're
all 250 of me would become just a feather.
What about Metcalf?
I don't know. Let me put it this way. I don't turn a lot of people down.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, it just has to be right for me. That's all.
I would like, you know what? Now that you're saying that, I would like, because I'm like, we don't have a lot of like. There are so many men that have that build, and we
Yeah.
kind of need that because you're like, yeah, you would be a snack. There's
Yeah.
a lot of built men. Like I'm like, where they at? Come on.
Throw me over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Throw you back.
You know what? That might be something you have to special release on your own shit because that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, I've called those two out for some years though, JJ Watt and Rob Gronkowski.
Oh, they're probably shy.
$3 million, I'll do it with Rob.
Oh shit!
But that was because he was a frat boy getting himself in a lot of trouble, right? So it's like, you want to get in some trouble here.
So you slid into the DMs?
No, I've done it this way on podcasts and interviews where I've talked about them.
We'll have to try to shoot it out and get it out there. I
Hey,
wonder if
Rob,
that-
man, come get in the end zone, Rob.
There's a lot of celebrities. It's weird that the people that aren't in my DMs or that I have met or whatever, and then the ones that I want are not the ones in there. It's like, what? Wait, this is how life is, though.
I'm the same way. I'd be like, I mean, obviously, I don't have all these people in my DMs. My following is smaller, but I'm just like, I meet guys all the time, and I'm just like, gross, nope. And then I like watch TV or I see something. I'm like, where the fuck fuck is this type of person?
Yeah.
I'm like more like that. I'm like, it's just a lot of frogs running around. That's what I feel like.
I'm not kissing them.
Me neither. I'm kicking them. I'm like,
you can stay over there.
Yeah, I'm like getting raid. I'm like,
well, us good men, we're hard to find. We're busy. We're doing stuff, so we're not always out in the limelight there.
That's what it is. I need to get out of my house.
No, they're supposed to be on dating sites, right? Because none of us are getting out of our house.
You know what? No,
they're not.
There's specific dating sites. I think there's one where it's like celebrities and stuff called, I think it's called Faya or Faya.
Oh, no, it's, I already know because I'm trying to get somebody to give me a recommendation because you have to like.
I can ask one of my friends if she can get you on.
Raya.
There we go.
Raya.
That's close.
Jeez,
I know. I think she's on it. I believe she's on it.
Yeah.
Because you have to be somewhat like famous,
yeah,
so I can't get on it. But
you have to have a recommendation. You have to submit all your socials, and it's like, well, I don't have a blue check mark, so no one's gonna acknowledge me, but. I'm known.
Yeah, no, and you have a lot of followers. So wait, why won't they give you a blue check mark?
Because they don't like sex workers.
Haters.
But that's the problem. I can't stand that they don't do that because then you're gonna have so many impersonators, and then your account could get shut down.
Right. So here's the thing. Instagram especially is very funny, but Instagram and Twitter both have my credentials, which means I've tried to be verified.
Yeah.
So if I report an impersonation, it comes down immediately, like they know it's me. But they will not give me the blue checks.
I'm shocked Twitter won't do that.
Twitter won't either. Twitter emailed me and said, we're not giving any out to certain communities right now. And I haven't tried again since that's like 3 years ago now.
They shut down my girl, Veronica Rodriguez.
Yeah. Viewer got turned down. I saw that.
What, for a blue check?
All that stuff. They shut down her account. Shut down everything.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that...
She needs some consolation now.
But a lot of people, Kendra Sutherland went. Well, she was pushing the envelope though, so she got shut down. There's a lot of people that they just get the passes, and then some that just don't. And I'm one of the people. Like, I am so badly banned right now because I've been posting and I kept posting, and then now it's just my numbers are just down. I'm like, you guys hate me.
It sucks. I know. I when I was consulting for a cam company, I remember their account got shut down, and I went and sat with the owner. We brought in this guy who had connections at Instagram.
Yep.
And it was insane. The guy showed up, and he was this nerd with like chains on. It was the funniest thing. And he was like, "All right, it's gonna be how many followers you? Oh, that was 1 million. Okay, it's gonna be. You need to give me 10 grand a day." But it's going to be 30 grand if I get it back. And if you want me to maintain it, it's 5 grand every month. And he was like, I'll talk to my guys. But he's like, look, you give me the 5 grand now. And if I can't get it back, I will give it back to you. And he was a legit dude. He ended up not being able to get it back. So he gave the money back. But he was connected there. So sometimes he can. But this girl did a certain thing with the platform. And it was like, no, you got to start from scratch. She actually had something... like, I guess nips were showing a lot.
Okay, so if you go look at my violations, none of them are showing anything. It's just the discrimination.
Yeah.
Because I'm a bigger person, so my skin ratio is too high. Because I've had full coverage bras, full coverage bikinis that are not even offensive. I could wear them legally anywhere. And I've been... Men
are intimidated by the curvy body. I literally did,
but they're not.
I don't mean like they don't want to touch you. I meant like it is like they're intimidated. Like this is a powerful thing. Like they're like Jesus Christ, and I think they try to like shut that down. It gives so much sexuality, is what I mean, and sensuality to them.
Yes, and I've actually said this before in podcasts that they want a small woman to shrink us down to make them feel more powerful.
Yep.
Because there was a time a woman of my size and bigger was considered a luxury.
Yeah. In the Renaissance period, all the artists were...
I was just at the Getty a couple weeks ago. There are 2 statues I'm standing next to. One, that woman's got a whole tummy. And the other one, her thighs, man, I looked skinny. I was like, hey, next to this thing. And these are like prominent statues at the Getty Center. And what we want to shame people for their size. Instagram hates. TikTok hates us. They just... I'm so nervous about what I post on a regular basis.
And it sucks because it's not like that in every country. But, I mean, obviously they're running stuff here. And I think that's one thing that we're trying to change with our platform is me and Edward discussed this, like the algorithms, like being racist. They don't want a person of color. They
Nope.
don't want a curvy person. They don't want any of these people to be the faces.
It's very accurate. And I also think, too, because they have a lot of their customer service, I don't know if it's necessarily outsourced or whatever, but they're in countries where that much skin is also banned, right? So they're saying, yes, this is a violation. Well, it's a violation in your country, in India, but it's not here.
Yeah.
And the rules should be governed where the host is, which is here.
100%.
So I'm like, this is, and then sometimes I think I piss off fans by rejecting them, because how dare a fat woman reject a man, and then next thing I'm reporting,
100%.
And
you have to
Haters,
really...
quit hating.
You know how many guys on Hinge have actually said that to me too? You should just be lucky you're big, and I'm even messaging.
That's because that's a hater move.
No,
that's
suck my dick is what they get. Yeah, suck my dick. I had one guy go, "Aren't you afraid of catching an STD from shooting porn?" I was like, "Why are you in my DMs? And why
Bitch,
are you?"
I get tested more than you.
I
You
said
should
that.
be afraid.
When was the last time you got tested? He goes, "Oh, it's been a year," and I was like, "Oh, I got tested last week. I don't think we're a match because I don't have sex with you if you not a year."
Oh my god!
And I was with one girl. Oh, I hope she was only with you because you don't even like that.
You don't know. You don't know.
So he got a whole
yeah.
education after I was like, yeah, and so you're not for me.
Oh my god! I swear, some of these they're so uneducated about the industry.
But until then, he matched with me, wanted to fuck. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, no, they're all.
Oh yeah, I'll fuck you, but aren't you getting an STD?
But you're having casual sex on these sites. You're using them as a hookup.
I'm not. Yeah, and I'm not having casual sex.
But I always say that
I don't need the website to do it.
And about the industry, I always say this to people that don't know anything about it. I'm like, people have to get tested all the time. This shit is run.
They really think
legitly.
We
like,
walk into a room like this, and there were 4 guys here. We're gangbanging, and you're holding the camera. That's what they think.
Yeah,
really
I know.
happens.
It's so stupid.
And it's like, well, I mean, maybe in the 70s and 80s that's how it was, but not anymore. I mean, Jesus, we show our COVID test before we even start.
Yeah, no, 100%. But it's still crazy you saying those stories. I remember once when I was in college, I did in my statistics class, I was testing out how people judge like a woman's body. And I had one of my friends go into a grocery store, and she's really skinny. She's really tall. She's probably like a small A cup. No, not really a butt, no hips. So I had her go into a grocery store with a bikini on, like she was running late to she was going to the beach, and she got some stuff. And everybody was like, "Oh, let me help you," whatever. And then I had another one of my friends who's curvy, like big boobs, hips, butt, in a bikini, like, "Oh, it's last minute," running in. Oh my God. Ma'am, you cannot be in here like this. It was like this whole like outburst.
Yep.
And I was just like, wow, it's so crazy that they see a curvy woman body and the intimidation by it.
Because of the sexuality.
Yeah.
Well, also the conditioning. We have to understand everybody's been conditioned through media, and this is the ideal. And that's why you look at the magazines, and they look at this and they say, "Oh, if you're not meeting this standard of this, 90-pound anorexic woman, then you're not meeting the mark, right? You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing." And so that's been conditioned and drilled into people's heads this entire time,
especially like
without
the
them
80s
knowing.
up, right? Because I think before that we had like Marilyn Monroe and a few other, people. But it definitely is society pushing those. They are intimidated by a sensual woman body. Yep. Like, I mean, that's why women were burned and called witches. Like, anytime a woman was alluring and they were like, she's got powers, get her out of here. You know what I mean?
She's wicked.
Yeah.
She's
So,
wicked. And so that's my whole like premise, right? Oh, well, guess how we change that?
That's right.
Porn.
Yeah.
How do we make it more socially acceptable? Porn. Because guess what? We're all watching it.
Yeah.
Then it translates to fashion. And it has. Look, Ashley Graham has a place. Ashley Graham has a place because people like me existed already in porn.
Yeah.
And I get told that you're like the X-rated version of Ashley Graham, and I'm like, no, I'm not. She doesn't even like to call herself plus size. Like, she's so offended to be called BBW plus size or anything. She's a real woman. So, I guess the rest of us
are other people, is that something in the community where people are not okay with that word? Why is she?
Because she's really kind of an in-between. I don't know. To me, she's plus size.
Yeah.
But to a lot of people, she's still, because she's fit and thick, she's an in-between. And I think that that's why she's not skinny. She's not mainstream skinny, but she's not really my size either. She's smaller than me. But I don't know. I think it's just a term that they've decided, because there is a group in porn that aren't big enough to be BBW and not small enough to be considered, they're not spinner chicks. They're in between. It's like the size 6 to 12, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? They're not really, there's no label for them. And so they started using the real women.
Oh, Lord. We're all real women.
We're all
That's
real
why
women.
it doesn't
Right.
matter what size we are.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all real women, lady.
So, so the real woman thing. But anyway, I feel like this is the way to change it. I'm
100%.
trying to change it. There's plenty of people who were there before me too. And I mean, you hear all kinds of things. Oh, if you're fat and have big boobs, that doesn't count. Okay, well, I weighed 100 pounds and had double D boobs. So when did it not count?
That's what I was going to ask. These are real,
these
right?
These are real. They've always been real. My ass is real. Everything's real.
So you are a real woman.
I'm a real woman. I've had a tummy tuck.
Don't say that. We're all real.
But, we're all
Well, there's a lot of fakeness going on. There's a
It
lot of
don't
fakeness going on
matter.
in
It don't
that
matter.
department, but you
It
got it
don't
all
matter.
authentic.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. People
Queen.
Goddess.
That's right.
I love that. Are you hashtagging that now? Is that
I've been using it for a lot of years, and
I love that.
I had one guy message me on Hinge that he just said, "Hi, goddess," and I was like, "I like how you think. Keep talking." I would love nothing more than for a man to be so alpha, but yet so admiring at the same time. So I'm like looking at him, going, "You look like you could be that guy."
I feel
just
you.
be the
Be
alpha.
dual energies, please.
Yeah.
Like embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like most Libras are. Most Libra men can be the alpha and also
y'all
give the
shut
woman
up.
flowers, praise her.
Yeah. Are you Libra? Are you single?
You know what? Yes, I am actually. I just remembered
He's
that I
a
was
Libra
a Libra.
Virgo. He's on the cusp.
I know about that. A lot of my close friends are Virgo.
Virgos are good people.
Are they?
But Libras,
Virgos are cool.
Libras, we keep it all balanced out. We
Is
keep,
that right?
Are
you single though? That's
most of the time. I am.
I always wait for the hesitation. And that's it.
I know. You know what's so funny? That is a question you have to ask every man now.
No. That's not the question you ask. What is the question you ask? Is there a woman who thinks she's in a relationship?
Oh, yeah.
That is the question.
Half of the
Not
time,
are
because
you
look,
single?
I'm dating a Latina, and
Oh no, you're not. You're
I
not
get
single.
broken up. I get broken up with
Oh God, I do this.
at least twice a month. At least twice a month.
So you have single
I've done
moments.
Yeah, I'm single. I'm single half the time.
That's what my ex used to say, and now he is really single.
That's well.
it
There
ends
it is
up
there.
there. That's where it ends up.
You got to learn a lesson
I
there.
say he manifested it. Yeah.
Words are powerful.
I
always say
didn't
that.
necessarily break up. I just got upset. So
What was the catalyst?
He's on dating sites.
Oh, well,
You're
yeah.
on
Oh, he
dating
did that.
sites.
Yeah, no.
You're talking inappropriately to other women, and here's the sad part: is I gave him the pass to do it ethically, but he hid it. Once I found out, then I was this raging monster who was out of control. Well, bitch, you fucking were cheating.
Yeah.
I full on said, here, if you're gonna have fun, just do it ethically, because what I'm doing, I'm transparent as fuck.
Yeah.
But then you turn around and did that, and now you're wondering why I am not nice to you.
Yeah. No, seriously. Open
It's
communication.
It's never gonna fix itself unless you change your behavior. He didn't, and so here we are.
Well,
And what sign
his
was
loss.
he? What sign was he?
He was a Pisces.
Oh, fishy.
Oh,
So
Lord.
fishy, those guys.
Yeah, but I attract a lot of water signs. I do.
Maybe you have a water moon. No.
Maybe I do.
Or
I don't
Venus.
remember. I've done it. I've done my chart a few times.
Yeah.
I'm drawn to water though too.
You
I'm a
are.
fire sign. So. that
Yeah,
makes
maybe you,
sense. Yeah.
because I'm drawn to fire signs and I'm a water sign, but I have a fire moon. So I'm always like, when it's fire sign, I'm like, ooh, like a moth to a flame, get all burned up.
Yeah. So I never actually said those words. So he likes to do the Ross and Rachel. We were on a break. No, we weren't on a break.
Oh,
There was a
the Ross
piece
and
of
Rachel.
paper binding us that kept us from being on a break.
Oh, you guys were married.
We were domestic partners.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
legally bound to each
Oh
other.
yeah, because you guys were together for a long time. You said before you got in the industry.
No, that one was just
Oh,
past 6
that
years.
was the-
that
oh,
was
okay.
past 6 years. But I've always been in a relationship somewhere.
You're
I've
the-
never really been single in the industry. That's what's crazy. But people
Oh.
always think, oh, you're single? I'm like, yeah, I have 6 husbands, 12 wives. They're all over the place. You know. It's really nobody's business if I'm single or not, right?
Yeah,
Because it has zero impact on my career.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's why I'm like, what does it matter?
Yeah, true.
Are you trying to wife me? You have a wife, so we're good. It doesn't really matter.
You know, and it's all fantasy sometimes,
Yeah.
so I get that.
I guess they want to have the idea that I'm attainable.
Yeah, 100%.
Even if,
Even if you're not.
they're not. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and some people want to hear that you're taken. And you're like, what you gonna fight for me? What you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes that's
a
more
big red
desirable.
flag. Yeah, that's a big red
Yeah.
flag.
I know a couple of men like that. They only go after people that are in relationships. I'm like, oh, this person likes you. Oh, they're single? No. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing, buddy.
Well, I'm sorry that you're single every half the month.
What can you do?
You just take my number and you won't be single.
Let's do it. Let's create some content on It's Me.
Oh, now we're doing content.
Let's create some It's Me exclusive.
So wait, if I did this, would I be able to change the answer? Have I ever hooked up with a fan?
Listen. I'm a fan now. I never
You never heard of me
never
till
heard
today?
of you until this interview.
He don't watch a lot of
look,
TV. You know what? He tries to lie. I keep always saying, like, do you watch a lot of porn? He's like, not really. And I'm like,
I don't get
don't
to watch
lie to
anything.
kick it.
I don't
Don't
get to watch anything
lie.
because I'm so busy. I
You
literally
don't have time to.
literally
No.
look, because I have a music career that I do, and then I also have my day job as well. And so I'm juggling all.
And you have a crazy Latina.
And I have a crazy Latina that's inside. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and so
I mean, I'm just telling you, we are all crazy.
yeah, so
And
I
tell
never get to
people
watch
that. We
TV,
are all
nothing.
crazy. All women are crazy. Latinos are special.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
I
will
know.
tell you this: it's just the level of crazy.
Yes, it's a
If she's Colombian, I'm sorry, you're gonna die.
no.
If she's Brazilian, I'm sorry, you're gonna die.
No, she's Mexican,
Oh,
so I'll probably die.
no, you won't. She'll
She's
She'll
threatened to
cook
poison
and
me.
scream
She's
scream
threatened
at
to
you
poison
now.
me.
She'll poison you a little bit till you're sick, but
Yes.
nurse you back to health.
and nurse you back to health. And we do the here's your food, but I'm fucking mad at you. I do that. I used to do
Won't
it.
poison you enough to kill you.
Oh, that's comforting.
Just to teach you a lesson.
Just to give me kidney failure at some point.
So one more question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Still sitting right here.
Really?
I don't know. I am so my life right now is so unpredictable.
Yeah.
I'm literally just on God's good humor right now. What is going to happen next? I don't know where my lease is up in April. I'm buying a house. I don't know where to buy the house because I just don't. I'm like, the universe, guide me.
Yeah.
Because there's so much going on
Yeah.
and it's so much in the air that's uncertain that I just don't know. And I can't even think 5 years from now, let alone even next year at this point. Because I feel like my career can change. I have a mainstream documentary coming out. I don't know when. Don't ask. On what platform?
Awesome.
Not sure. It's supposed to be on a streaming platform. And that's like a Hollywood production. And that's just been over 2 years now. So we're like, it's happening.
You're going to have to tell us what that's about.
So it's about being a sex worker during COVID.
Oh.
And how our lives changed. And they followed 3 women. And I was one of the 3. And they were trying to keep it diverse. So I was happy about that. And just through my own connections, different people like producers, they're like, oh, we can help fund it and stuff. So we're now on that phase, but it's taking so long. But I know that when that happens, like, I know my entire career is going to change and everything's going to look different again. Right? So I'm constantly evolving.
Yeah.
I'm in this huge state of evolving right now. And so I don't know in 5 years I could be married to a politician or, homeless, I guess.
No, never homeless. You're only bigger and better.
I already did that. I did a long time ago. That was
no going backwards.
No,
then.
we don't go backwards. That was a drug addicted boyfriend.
Oh my God.
So I don't know. I don't know where. It's all, wherever I am, it's going to be good.
I love that you're dabbing your foot in mainstream too. That's fucking
Well, that was my
fantastic.
original dream. I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be Julia Roberts or Sandra Bullock.
Oh, it's never too late.
And I was too short, too ethnic, too this, too that. I kept hearing it all. And then I ended up in porn. So I'm still acting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you never know what's going to happen, you know?
And yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people in our industry have aspirations for real Hollywood, but why? I mean, I'm still touching it in different ways.
Yeah. And especially doing stuff with more storylines. We need, I mean, it was a bad film, like 50 Shades, but we need films like that, but where there's real sex. Maybe it's like, you know, on Showtime. You know what I mean? So we can actually really see stuff. And it's actually better actors and better storyline. But we need stuff like that. And I think that's the next step we're going to. I think we're getting, especially with the government coming after all the tube sites and stuff. It's so going to change. You're like, no, this isn't acceptable anymore.
Well, and that's why I try to tell people, like, be active in this. Do you understand if these laws pass, it's going to affect your entertainment as a whole eventually, 100%. Including your video games, including, like, even the ratings on our movies. They're trying to censor us. Yeah. They're trying to change. It's sad. Everything
from the male gaze is getting looked at like, that's a little rough. That's not right. You know, but if you're making what we like to, you know, if you say it's like a movie thing, this is art. We're making a movie. Yes, there is this, and we're going to, what do they rate it? NR, if it's, you know.
Well, there's NC-17.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, we got to change the game a little, and I think people need to be ready for that, and I think it's going to open room for maybe it might push some people out, especially some producers and stuff like that just don't have that type of vision. I'm not saying that the other stuff is bad, but I don't think a lot of these sites eventually are going to be able to be saturated with that type of stuff anymore because they're just getting so aggressive. If they're taking billing away, what the fuck are you going to do? What if everything can't be completely free? Then we're all fucked.
And the way that those terms are written, they're very ambiguous.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, where's the line here?
Yeah.
So decide what's indecent. Even the banks, what's indecent? What's really indecent? Because I'm pretty sure I saw this movie and it looked like it was doing the same thing. So,
that's what I mean. If we change it more to that concept, it's going to be a lot different because, we do see people beating the shit out of somebody in a rape scene in a movie and somebody urinating on that shit. That is not, I worked in the cam side of the business and they don't allow
we don't
any
even
of that
allow
stuff.
that.
Yeah. So, but it can be in a movie.
You guys remember the Cambria laws? And they're not even real laws, but they were like.
Wait, no.
You've never heard of this? The Cambria. Google it. They're like Cambria. It's easy. But Cambria laws were like loose rules.
Okay.
And it was these decency laws like that, where there's no blood, there's no urine, there's no feces, there's no, whatever. You can't choke somebody. But we do porn and still have them. But a lot of these billing companies use the Cambria laws.
Really?
Yeah, I remember when I first signed up with CC Bill, there was a lot of back and forth
about that type of stuff.
When I first started, that was in 2006. So, it's come a long way since 2006.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's why I think you even see people like what happened with OnlyFans and them threatening to pull away from them.
I still think that was a marketing ploy. But
I do too.
To an extent.
But I was going to say that. But I also think that, when you have Beyonce starting to mention you in songs, and you get so popular in advertisements and all that stuff. There's so much money everywhere now, and it's like, this is a capitalistic society. People start to just make decisions for them, but the thing is, the owner knows a lot of, he's close because he has another platform, with a lot of, model. So everybody's like, hello, so you got to be careful with your.
This is also why I've had the conversations with people that I believe even on OnlyFans there is groups with privilege. And
100%.
Because I know I'm one of the people in that privilege, and they respond to me quickly. I've never had any issues with any of my content. I know Leo's directly from MFC, obviously, and if I tweeted something and they retweeted me and tweeted back, like people are like, nobody gets that. And I'm like, no, I really truly believe that the entertainers on that platform they have a studio presence, they're getting passes. I think we're getting passes. And I'm not going to be upset about it or feel bad about it because guess what? I don't have a pass on Instagram.
I was just about to say that. I was literally about to say that.
Because I don't care.
Because you can be a celebrity in mainstream and show a nipple on Instagram.
Sharon
and you
did
get
that whole thing and nobody had a problem with it. But if I did that,
Oh, what about even better? What about Rob Kardashian? He showed Blac Chyna's vagina on Instagram.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he got mad at her and started posting naked photos of her on Instagram.
Why? That is so body. Immature and so stupid.
And then they turned his account off because it was like showing her vagina, her boobs, all this stuff. And then he has his account back. I mean, it says ran by Kris Jenner's production, and it's posting his socks brand and all that so he can make money from swipe ups. But nobody else would have that privilege after doing nobody.
But I've had content that I've shot with other models who are not necessarily have a studio presence, and their content was shut down, removed, whatever, and no one ever said a word, and I shot the exact same content with them at the same time, on the same beach, on the same public place. Didn't have a problem.
So you think now...
And the reason is because they have a studio presence. I have a strong studio presence under MindGeek. We are already following rules that a lot of people don't even have a clue about. And so in my mind, they already know. Well, Sofia is most likely already abiding. I mean, if they want a release form, it's 11 pages they're getting from me for everything I've done.
Gotcha.
So they want 11 pages. I don't know who's going to police that because that's a lot.
Yeah.
But... an escort who's turned model and onto OnlyFans is thinking her content with her client or her hookups or whatever you want to call them isn't doing 11 pages of any kind of documents.
Well, because they didn't have to in the beginning either.
Well, no, you did.
Oh, in the beginning you did have to.
But they weren't policing it.
So now they're all getting,
So she doesn't know, but they know I know.
Because that's how everybody was able to. That's why when it started getting mentioned on all these like songs and stuff, all these other people flocking to it who don't know anything about our industry, 2257, all that stuff.
None of it.
They're like, oh yeah, like posting, like doing whatever with whoever, and then I get that.
And then they're all doing the digital 2257s, and they were rejecting that too. And I'm like, no, because the original release and the 2257 is much lengthier than this, and that's why mine's 11 pages, and 4 of those pages is IDs. See what I'm saying? So there's like, I mean, mine is very thorough, but I even have like content release dates, exchange dates, like how it's all being done. Like that's part of the document. So no one can say, I didn't even authorize
and
that.
It's so funny. If they weren't, I honestly think, the people that owned it before, they weren't really a part of the industry either, I don't think. So no. I don't even think they thought, I need to enforce this. Yeah. The person that owns it now, Leo, he knows, like, fuck, this was a fuck up. You weren't enforcing this, but it also was what made it. I've worked with a lot of platforms, and a lot of cam platforms, the fan platforms, whatever, and a lot of them, the models, when it gets to the sign-up process, I will lose a lot of them. I am always like, this needs to be simple as we can make it, but there are rules, and
but it has to be simple for the user, too.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was a lot of user pushback too because I have to verify this and then this with my bank, or I'm trying to buy this and it's flagging at my bank, and it's like, there's a lot of still little hiccups in there, but I feel like that whole the banks, the investors, was a marketing employee to create a mass exodus of the people who don't want to go with the compliance. People like me, it wasn't hard. Yeah. It was like, I'm already compliant. I have, Isaiah's 11 pages if you want it. Like, sure. But Isaiah. Are you going to really get 11 pages from everybody else for everything they're doing?
They don't even know what that is. They're not educated on that.
They might have an ID. They might. But no. And so I really think that had a huge piece of it. Yeah. I've literally, I'm like, I don't know, I'm slipping under the radar. But I'm not, because they're responsive to me. They're tweeting me.
Yeah, well, you're big in our industry, so and if Leo has
Leo
a relationship
knows me,
with you,
so it's like, but I do feel like there's people that, just don't know. It's just ignorance. It's not even like you're so stupid. It's just ignorance. Yeah. Even when I was doing this COVID, sex documentary, I said, you need to make sure you have the 2257 on file for all of us. And anyone else we're interacting with. And she goes, why? And I said, that is a legal document for anything that's adult related. And because you're doing adult references, this is required. Yeah. They were like, oh my God, Sophia, thank you for telling us. And so then they talked to their lawyer, and she's like, oh my God, I'm so glad you mentioned it. Because you did it in the whole production and didn't even know you needed 2257 because we're talking about adult content and filming. We're self-filming. Yeah. So there is a lot of pussy and asshole and whatever everybody showed, So,
it's so crazy how people, a lot you can learn from our industry.
There's just a lot of things that people don't no, like the testing.
Yeah.
I just really think it's a fuck for all, and
I mean, it's a great
we're
fantasy that everybody, this industry's created. You know what I mean? Oh
You did a good job.
Yeah.
Selling it.
No, I know. That's why it's like, even if you're, when I'm bringing people to, like events sometimes, and I'm just like, and they're overly excited and stuff like that. I'm like, look,
going to a porn event.
I'm
right?
like, yo, I mean, look, there are some really fun events, but that's in any industry.
Yeah.
But I'm like, sometimes I'm going to stuff, I'm like, no, this is professional. Like, I think they're a little bit like, and I'm like, it's not like I don't know what you think you're walking into, but
they think it's okay to grab your ass, grab
your
tits,
and I'm like, you
no,
gotta,
you will get punched.
Yeah, I'm like,
really
don't,
fast.
Yeah, you have to really.
That's like the one thing I'm uncomfortable with fans when I meet them in person or they run into me, and someone goes to grab it, and I'm like,
oh my God, no.
I had 8 brothers. You do not want to be on the other side of this right now because I will hurt you.
8 brothers?
I'm the oldest of 10 kids.
Oh no my way.
God. My boys.
10 kids?
Yeah.
Wow.
And 8 are boys. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Jesus. So did you have to babysit everybody?
No. I beat their asses.
Oh my God. I haven't.
My mom, this is the joke. My mom told me I was born a king. So
I like
you
that.
weren't born a queen. You were born a king. That's why you were a goddess now. Because my brothers still act like I'm in charge.
Yeah, I love that.
No wonder you've never been a sub. You're the boss.
Right with my dad too.
Get him.
He's very much an alpha male, and he spawned an alpha female.
That's right.
It's like my dad just gets. I'm the only child that argues with him. The only one is still.
That Leo energy.
Oh yeah.
The Leo's the leader.
The Leo.
You're probably a king in a past life too.
One of my brothers is a Leo, but he still is very. He's not. He's an August Leo. I'm a July Leo. He's very. He tries to be the alpha, and then I stand up, and
then you're like, "Shut up!"
I didn't have to say anything. I just exist, and he's like. Let's put it this way: we had a family event this past weekend on Sunday. And when he found out I was coming, he decided not to come.
Oh my God.
Because he knew it wasn't going to go well.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. He's like, oh, she's coming out. And I had told the other brother, I said, I'll show up. And when he gets there, I will leave. No problem. I'll leave. I have someone else I can be. And, but it's all about money. He likes to ask for money and I don't like to give it.
Oh my goodness.
I suck dick for that. You know
that. Go clean my house, wash the car, bring it filled up with gas.
My little brother, I said, I will buy you your Xbox that you want, whatever, PlayStation, whatever it was, for your birthday. You can pay $300 of it, but you will come here and do work.
Yeah.
I will put your ass to work at my house. And my was like, I don't think he liked it. He was scared.
Well, you know what? That's the real world.
I'm not giving him money. Nobody
but what is it? Your birthday? Is it? What is?
It's your birthday, but it's not $1,200.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Especially not with 10 siblings. There's 9 birthdays. Yeah. No, that's a lot.
No, I don't. No.
If everybody got a $1,200 gift, that would be a lot.
If they get chosen for their birthday, they're lucky. That's where it is now. My mom always jokes. They always wonder who's going to get chosen for dinner.
You should do what do they call it? Like the white elephant?
Yeah.
Here's it is. Like, everybody pick. Oh, it's not you this year. Sorry.
It's
going to be old Benjamin.
Yeah.
He got it last year. Well, this is the game. Trying to be fair. Well, I haven't met anybody that came from you don't hear about people having that many kids anymore. Like, it's like, maybe because it's too expensive now. But,
no, we're Mexican. Some roach genes.
Well, no, true.
We don't die.
You know what?
We multiply.
We do that in the Caribbean too. My dad's family, my grandmother had 20 kids, but my dad only 4.
My great-grandmother had 17.
Oh yeah, it's a lot.
I don't know how
would
vagina
you push
didn't fall
out that? I know.
I was like, wow.
I mean, my uterus.
Any
would
twins
be
or
hurting.
no?
There were twins in my great grandmother's, yes. And then my grandmother had 7, and my mom has blended kids, so it's 10. But she had 5. I had 1, and that done. Snip, snip. I'm not doing this again.
What was it? Was birthing difficult?
No, it was all great. Raising that child was difficult.
You know what? I have a friend who her daughter she's just like, my daughter is so well behaved. I know this will never happen again. I'm not going to be this lucky, so this has to be it. Her daughter just turned 18.
My daughter
was like, no.
really well behaved. It just was a lot of work. I was also 15, so
Okay.
it wasn't easy. I was like,
you know what? I understand that too, because she said the same thing too. She was just like, it was a lot of work though, and I'm okay, because she was 18. She's like, all right.
Oh, no.
She sent her off to college.
I'm glad I did it young though and early, because I'm like, well, I'm in my 40s. I have money and knowledge.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Yeah.
My daughter is raised. Done.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I have all this freedom.
It's great to know that you're a mom too. It's like, to see the different sides of,
people can't believe it most of the time. They're like, you have a mom? My daughter's older than you. Actually. and yes, I'm an actual mom, but yeah.
And I think it's like, it's just good to hear people say, because sometimes I know people don't want to even say that, but it's like, you know what? Yes, you can be a model in the industry and be a mom and a wife and a this and a that, or a lover, whatever the case is. They try to pigeonhole, what.
I can't be someone's wife or have a child if I'm in porn.
Yeah.
It's like, how could you, right? And both narratives I hate. And there's just a lot of men who really still think that a woman's goal is to get married. And you're like,
I get that all the time.
Can you afford me as
exactly
a wife before you ask?
Exactly. There's not a lot of people worthy of even going that route with. If somebody was, and fate, that's what I always say, if that's what the universe wants, and fate brings me that route, then that's what happens. But like, it's not a life mission. It shouldn't be for any women. Like, I mean, unless that's what you really want, but don't let it be because society is saying that's what you should want.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. If that's what you genuinely want and that's just who you are, then power to you. Want to be a stay-at-home mom, 30 babies? Girl, do it.
Yeah.
But that's not, there's other things to celebrate as a woman too,
Exactly. I totally agree.
We add to society in a lot of ways. It's not just through our uterus having a baby. It could be it doesn't make you any less.
I'm
of a
adding
woman.
in the entertainment field now at this point. So I am a real mom, and people a lot of young guys are just like, wait, what? And that's the only time I don't like to mention my kid, is because when fans get inappropriate, or a guy was like, well, let me meet your daughter. And I'm like, no, you fucking pervert.
Yeah, no. Oh my God.
No, she's like, I do not show her, talk about her. Like, that's not allowed. Yeah. And she's a grown-ass, total adult, lives on her own, not even in the same state as me. But it doesn't matter. Like, leave my kid out of this.
I'm glad you set those boundaries. So fans, you fucking heard it here. Leave the baby out of it. Ain't none of your fucking business. Don't bring it up.
Listen, if she wants to be seen, she'll be seen.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and you got to set boundaries. I mean, that's, because I know so many models that they don't end up doing that, and then they end up having bad experiences.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just like,
draw
the line. I don't like this.
I'm thankful I had a lot of guidance when I first got in my career started, because I did keep identities safe and family safe, and just a lot of things I was very aware going into this. Yeah. So that I didn't make a lot of the mistakes. And believe me, I get the death threats, and I get the, I followed you here and there, and I hire security for a reason. Like,
so scary.
So it's stupid too, though. Some of the things that guys try to use as a power over you. Oh, I know your real name. Great. You don't find anything by knowing a real name. Yeah. It's not really a win.
Yeah.
It's not a trophy. You just feel like you have some power by knowing my real name. Okay.
It's so scary being a woman, and then I can only
imagine
being in your
It's already
shoes.
Hard, and then we
I'd be like,
industry and go, oh, this was not really should have thought this one through a little bit, just from the safety perspective. Because
men, they feel like they
fully
know
entitled.
you, they feel entitled. Yeah, it's disgusting. I mean, I'm only 5'1", and I've had to jump in front of a few models and act aggressive. I mean, I can be pretty powerful when I need to. But I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm at some of the shows, and I'm like,
don't
what
underestimate
the fuck
short girls. I'm only 5'5". Do not
Very
underestimate.
true.
I think I'm a 7'8" black man. So do not underestimate me.
You're like, I'll eat you.
My career, my player on Xbox on 2K is 7'8". Okay, and he's got dreads and tattoos, and he's gonna kill you. That's what I like. My Chihuahua. He thinks he's a 90-pound boxer.
You know what? That is true. The smaller something is,
Tiny but
sometimes-
mighty.
Yes,
Tiny but mighty.
there you go. Because all my small dogs were like that.
Yeah.
Some of my bigger dogs are a little dopier
Yeah.
and sweeter. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
My dog is very sweet. He's just thinks he's 90 pounds and a boxer.
And when it comes to protecting, he's going to be fierce.
Oh, yeah. And he has a command for that, too.
That's right.
So, anyway.
All right. Well, it was great having you on the podcast.
Yeah.
You're amazing. I'm glad I finally got to meet you in person. I'm hoping that I get to work with you
Yeah.
more in
Yeah.
many ways.
2022.
Yeah.
Someone will have to get kicked off that roster.
Yeah, 2022 is the year of the builder. I'm building. I'm gonna make some shit happen. You know, I'm making magic happen. So
Yeah.
we'll definitely be doing
Let me
more.
help. I like
But
a lot of
before,
magic.
Sophia, tell everybody where they can find you. Make sure that you give out your Instagram or whatever platform, however you want to.
So it's ilovesophiarose.live, Live, and it's SOFIA, Sophia Rose. And that has the links to all my official everything, including, what is it?
It's me.
It's me.
That's right.
So if I jump on that platform, that link will be there too. But all my links are there: Instagram, Twitter, backup Instagram, email, you name it.
That's right.
ilovesophiarose.live.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, guys. It's your girl, Jasmine. Remember to catch all your favorite content creators on ItsMii.com.